I, Monica, would like to warmly welcome you to our today's webinar on building scalable e-learning platforms with AWS and Cloud.in. We all know that EdTech is your infrastructure and also your product. Your users expect a flawless, uninterrupted experience, and we are here to help you deliver that. In the next hour, we are going to deep dive into how to scale your platform effectively on AWS, the secrets to the lightning fast content delivery, and how to upgrade and manage your services with zero downtime and effective deployment. To take you through the session, we have with us today Mr. Kuldeep Sorge, a Senior Business Development Executive. For seamless webinar experience, we request you to hold your questions till the end of the session or put your questions in the chat. I would like Kuldeep to take it over now.
Thank you, Monica, for such a warm welcome and great overview of today's session. So I'm Kuldeep here. I'm a business development executive associated with Cloud.in and working with the businesses across all the industries to help them build the scalable infrastructures, basically. And in today's session, what we're going to do is we're going to have a deep dive into how we're going to build scalable e-learning platforms in the cloud in association with AWS, and on that aspect, how Cloud.in as an advanced consulting partner help you in that journey to build the scalable platforms. So this is going to be agenda for the today's session, and in the next 40-45 minutes we are going to have all the discussions related to this, and we are going to cover a lot of and various topics today to have the interactive session. Yeah, so at Cloud.in, we have been associated with AWS for last 10 years. We are the advanced consulting partnership level with AWS, and we have been working very closely with AWS to achieve the great success from the infrastructure standpoint for the customers that we are working with presently. So as I've told that, we have 26 years of experience in the digital portfolio of services that we cater to the customers. And talking about the cloud standpoint, we've been working with cloud solutions for last 10 years, and in that particular front we have covering a lot of things, a lot of domains we have been covering, and we have all grown from a very small team to a sizable team that we have presently, with over 75 to 80 plus AWS experts having 100 plus certifications holding together across some levels like foundation level, associate level, and professional levels as well. So talking about the how we are creating a greater impact on the businesses from the infrastructure standpoint is we have been presently managing 200 plus live workloads in the cloud from across all the businesses sizes and across all the industries. So this is the one key success that stands out when you talk about Cloud.in and how we approach in delivering our services in cloud to our esteemed customers. So this is the goal is simple: to simplify your cloud journey and deliver a seamless and scalable infrastructure for your all the applications that needs to be hosted and run smoothly and seamlessly for your all the business needs. Yeah. So again, going back to our journey, we've started in 1999 as a what we call it as a digital ad and online portal servicing, and since then we have been growing on a growing timely and achieving we've been achieving the milestones at a timely interval level, basically. So apart from that, in 2015 we have achieved our first major milestone where we've started working with AWS, and since then we've forged the partnership with AWS. We've never had a look back on that part, and continuously growing in the team sizes, continuously growing in the excellences that we are providing, and consistently achieving the newer heights and milestones in line with the AWS in AWS competencies, in service delivery programs, and in the workload management of the AWS. So presently we hold a few noticeable competencies, a couple of significant amount of service delivery successes as well, and partner programs as well with AWS. So that is our portfolio of AWS in today's time. So now, having a look at the broader portfolio of portfolio of cloud.in, and how we work with other technology solution partners to provide your businesses a holistic and 360-degree approach under a one single roof to cover all of your needs apart from the cloud. Let's say we have a few components of the cloud, like security, like reliability, like observability, and the protection which we require at the enterprise grade level. So achieving that particular aspects is not we will not be able to have this achieved with a single component of cloud services basically. So we are going to have all the systems and capabilities integrated into the particular environment, and with the help of that we can achieve these kind of holistic success for your applications and for your environment. Talking about that, we have VMware partners in partnership with cloud infrastructure, and for streaming your data securely to the audiences, to the users that are engaging with your business. For that, we have partnered with the Confluence, Kafka. Apart from that, one key aspect of applications maintenance is observability, where you need a tool that monitors your application's performance on a 24/7 basis. So for that particular aspect, we have New Relic as a partner. And then again, talking from the security partnership standpoint, we have different specialized partners in Checkpoint, F5, and Fortinet. So that gives you a specialized and approach to cover your securities within the all other components, such as endpoint protection, such as networking security, such as application security, apart from the infrastructure security that we provide in the AWS cloud. So that's the whole point of coming together with all of these partners and working with them to provide and cater to all the needs of the business applications running on the AWS cloud. Yeah. So again, referring to the AWS competencies and partner programs that we've achieved, over the year, and that makes us a highly credible partner for your business applications to be managed by cloud.in as a partner. So we have a few noticeable and significant competencies that we've achieved, like generative AI services, migration and modernization competencies, SME competencies, educational services competencies, and Microsoft workload competencies basically. So these competencies makes us that trusted partner for you to cater all your business needs from these services and competency standpoints. Whenever we so that reflects that we have achieved significant excellence in these kind of services, and the approach that we conduct in delivering the services and solutions to your environment from the AWS cloud. So that makes us very very credible at this particular point of time in catering the service to your businesses. And in AWS we have a vast portfolio. In AWS we have services that AWS in the cloud environment. And what we try to do is, as an advanced consulting partner, we try to at the right point of that approach makes us a very diverse service provider in terms of providing all the providing or maybe covering all the aspects of these services basically, right from implementing the scalable platforms, secure platforms, and cost-effective systems for your business applications, to managing that, optimizing that consistently, monitoring that, identifying the source of that particular threats, Then coming over to the advocates that particular threat through a right resolution on that particular threat that we have detected from that managed services standpoint. Apart from that, advise your your business to on how we can maybe cloud. These are cloud services or cloud environment for your businesses, right? From the designing this application to be the roadmap, particularly, and how we are going to execute that practically, or with the help of our resources that we have. So that is also we cover in cloud consulting and advisory services. Apart from that, we also make your billing simplified with our reselling and billing services, and make a GST compliant billing services for your businesses to pay those billings to AWS, what we consume on a monthly basis, through cloud.in's portal that we have for the billings as a part of FinOps processes. And then we have one more most important part of services that we deliver is content delivery, networking, and edge services. When we talk about educational or e-learning platforms, one component that stands out is ultra low latency and user experience. So for this, for achieving this user experience, we need the services, we need the content to be delivered in a very low latency, and in very real time, so that customer could engage and customer could um, that particular content that they are consuming basically. And that is where the CDN CDN part of it comes into picture and provide your users where your users reside, or where your business from users are presently, with the CDN and cache edge locations and cache services that we have. Again, one more aspect that we cover from the AWS environment and cloud is concerned, we have cost optimization, because AWS environment evolves over the consumption of the services, and the need comes in when we feel that we have to optimize our resources. We have to right size our resources that we are utilizing for your achieve 22 US environments for businesses across the industries through the strategies that we have for achieving the cost optimizations. Again, we have few services that makes us very reliable in terms of partnering with us for the AWS services, and building the systems for your business applications, like resource augmentation. Because earlier I have said that we have a team of 80 plus experts in the AWS that are experts, and having achieved or validated their competencies through the AWS certifications that we have on the different levels, right from the foundation to professional levels. So that makes us very reliable in terms of catering to all your diverse needs of your businesses. And one key part comes into picture, where we integrate our generative AI related services into your existing workflows to make your systems on platforms intelligent, basically, to add this generative AI layer on top of your applications that presently running for your businesses. This generative AI makes them very lively, and interact with your clients on the real-time basis. So this is just an overview of what our portfolio looks like when you partner with AWS as a service partner for your business needs in line with the AWS infrastructure, or maybe application part of it. Again, we have the expertise that makes us capable to cater our services into the broader level of industry segments that we have, like right from the regulated industries of financial services, banks, insurance companies, and hospital and healthcare industries, and what we call it as educational institutions, and apart from that, some commercial segment industries also that we cater, and try to cover that industries as well on AWS cloud front. which is FMCG industry, retail industry, then then manufacturing industries, and automobile and manufacturing sector industries. So given the key point over here is basically different industries have the different needs. Media and entertainment industry need ultra low latency for their users to access their content on a real-time basis. Then e-commerce companies is all about customer experience that the SaaS application and interface provides to your customer. And when we talk about the infrastructure, information technology like ISP businesses, when they develop the systems, they'll have to take care of the all components of the cloud. Whether the infrastructure is scalable, secure, or cost effective, or maybe reliable for that matter, or it provides the higher performance on a peak tenure or duration whenever your traffic goes traffic spikes, goes up and goes down based on the consumption of your application. So that is where it all makes sense, and to makes that expertise really credible to cater these services to all the industries across all the segments. And we've got that covered in AWS in cloud.in as your advanced consulting partner at this point of time. Yeah. So apart from that, what we've been trying to do is we've been trying to identifying some of the gaps in present systems that we have, and how we can fulfill that gap through developing such compelling solutions where those solutions can sit on top of your applications or maybe infrastructure layer, and then provide your team the visibility, the governance, and the optimization needed for your workloads to run on the cloud smoothly. Because workloads have been evolving, the industries have been changing fastly, and so our applications and so our infrastructure is doing. So we have a couple of flagship products that we have developed in CloudFront, Rudra Sentinel, and Evalix.ai, and Freedom. So CloudFront is nothing but it provides you the provides your ops team to manage your CloudFront operations very smoothly, and in a very optimization in a very optimization level basically. So they can roll back to the configurations that they have and distribute the configurations to the different level of operations teams across the CloudFront settings that we have. Apart from that, Rudra Sentinel sits on top of your environments and continuously monitors the threat that are coming from the unknown or known sources, or maybe recognized and unrecognized sources. And once the sources are detected, it provides the alerts on the real time to the teams to take the further steps in maybe identifying the threats, and then having the troubleshoots implemented on that particular steps. Here we could cover all the cycle of that particular threat detection to troubleshooting to implementation or maybe resolution of that threats that we have detected. But we have put some of the steps manually, just because of we do not have all the accesses of the unrecognized or unknown threats. So that's the reason we have been just covering high level threat detection, particularly within the Rudra Sentinel features. Apart from that, we have Freedom, which is a cloud multi-cloud billing and management and governance platform that we have for the billing optimization and cost optimization across multiple clouds as a part of our governance. And then again, we have one more platform, which is Evalix.ai, which provides you the smart platform to creating, managing, and creating and managing your assessments for your students or users maybe. So we are going to deep dive into Evalix.ai as a part of our today's session, because we are going to talk about scaling, building the scalable platforms within the education sector, or maybe the information technology sectors that provides the users to access to the e-learning platforms that we have in today's time. So that is it all about the products or flagship products that we have developed over the time, and that are adding value to your present environment and business applications as well. So yeah, this is what our today's agenda session looks like. We are going to discuss few challenges related to the building systems, and apart from that, how we can build those system, what are the technical stats, what are the core architecture components that we are going to use, and how those components we can put together and form optimized architecture for your e-learning platforms, and make sure that, or maybe ensure that it's not just the scalable, but it's cost effective, it's reliable, and it's highly performant application as well when it comes to catering to your broader level of audience, or maybe users that we're going to have. Apart from that, the education or maybe the systems are changing very fast, and we are evolving. The infrastructure architecture has been evolved, the application architecture has been evolved, and now we are sitting at at the top of very modern infrastructure and application design and architecture level in cloud native architectures for the applications infrastructure, and microservices based applications, or maybe where we need the serverless infrastructure to host those applications, and provide the flexibility that is needed to manage these infrastructure for your teams. So that is all the discussion session is going to be look like for the day. Yeah. So yeah, we talked about how we are going to build the system, and the common challenges that we face today is in delivering the e-learning content to the users or audiences. Basically, in earlier in the legacy systems, we have fallen behind because of we were not able to deliver the video content to the users on a real-time basis, or maybe on a very effective basis. Apart from that, we had analytics layer was not implemented on top of the e-learning delivery, where we would not be having the visibility on what kind of audience is engaging with what kind of content, and then that those were a couple of the challenges in the legacy applications and the legacy architectures that we have. So as a part of that, to cover all those aspects, we had to build the infrastructure which is compatible with all these needs of modern application development systems. And as a part of that, it has become very critical and essential to build the systems which are scalable and which are compatible with the today's application architecture, and provide the platform for those applications to be run on top of that very seamlessly for your users to consume that particular content that we have. Yeah. Again, these are a couple of basic or foundational components that we have in AWS cloud. When we talk about building the e-learning platforms, we have industry leading storage and compute and databases that we have purpose built and fully managed databases and storage platforms, or maybe resources in AWS cloud available for your all level of use cases, virtually all level of use cases, to be hosting or maybe processing, storing, and managing your workloads or data on top of the AWS infrastructure. And as we talked about content delivery, which provides your users to have access to your content in a real time and a very ultra low latency basis. It is that services also we have made available for your infrastructure to be a part of your infrastructure architecture and components. So that makes us AWS is one of the top choice for your educational or maybe e-learning platforms to build upon AWS infrastructure and host them on the AWS infrastructure. Yeah. Again, while we deliver the infrastructure, while we deliver the content on a low latency or in a very low latency to your broader level of audience, or maybe the audience in a single regions, or audience in a multiple regions, or maybe audience in a diverse geographic regions across the globe. So we have different services, different components, and different platforms, or maybe resources for those particular scenarios. Let's say we need to deliver the contents across across the globe. Then we have global accelerator, we have edge locations in multiple regions. That makes us highly relevant for these AWS services to build your e-learning platforms on the AWS cloud. So the key components are, of course, we talked about the compute, storage, the purpose-built databases that we have for the different use cases, where the databases like DynamoDB are giving a 10x performance compared to your traditional databases like MS SQL and MySQL, and the open source databases that we have when it comes to optimizing the queries and delivering the transactions on the real-time basis. Yeah, so this is all about how AWS has thought about building the comprehensive and compelling infrastructure platform for your all the needs associated with building the e-learning platforms for your applications. Yeah, so we've covered the overview about what is needed for building the scalable and secure e-learning platforms on top of the AWS cloud. But again, one more component or one more criteria or parameter we need to take into consideration, which is going to be the traffic management. We talked about the infrastructure, we talked about the application, but here comes into picture one more criteria, which is very essential, because for whom we are going to build these applications and host that upon the infrastructure, which is going to be the users. And for some businesses the users are very low, but for some businesses like SMB businesses, or maybe for enterprise businesses, the users are high, and they form a very very higher traffic on the applications, and it is very difficult to or maybe critical to manage that traffic on that particular level. Okay, so high traffic management is the key essential basically. So for that particular matter, we have application level of load balancer, then infrastructure level of load balancer, web application level of load balancer, to manage all this traffic on your applications that we have built, and also cater to the manage the traffic from the different sources or different sources of the infrastructure or application hosting point basically. So that makes us again relevant for considering your e-learning platform to be hosted on AWS cloud. So that gives us your users or your audience a seamless learning experience, that boosts the learning experience from how the users are accessing your content, and also we are taking into consideration that aspect, that we are saving the cost related to the infrastructure, and still we are providing the scalability for all the users and maybe concurrent users that are accessing your application in a real time. Let's say thousands of users, or let's say maybe tens of thousands of users. That is also possible on AWS infrastructure. For that matter, if you take into consideration one example, we have e-learning application developed on top of AWS that gives the access to 3,000 concurrent users at on a real-time basis basically, and providing all those users real ultra low latency delivery is a key achievement that AWS has achieved. So that is all about high traffic management and providing your users with a high performance delivery regarding this. Yeah, so when we talk about any systems, any application, any infrastructure that we have, be it hosting or maybe be it running on top of on-premise data center, or maybe private data centers, or be it being hosted on the AWS cloud or any other cloud. Security is going to be the key aspect, and we have to consider a holistic approach within the security, because security threats are unexpected, unknown, and that may arise from any point of from any sources and at any point of time. So it is important to ensure and secure all the workloads, all the endpoints, all the devices that you manage. Apart from that, all the application layers and all the infrastructure layers with this security, so that any kind of threats that are impacting on your workloads and that can cause a high or maybe significant downtime, or maybe cause the bottlenecks within your environment. So we'll have to cover that aspects and consider into this security, and we'll have to ensure that we have strong security posture management of your workload and infrastructure. So we consider that aspect as well, and we provide automated security for your workloads. We keep your all the data safe, encrypted, the data in rest or the data be it in transit, all that in flows or processes or motions, we keep your data encrypted and very secure. Apart from that, we manage the logs of your databases, logs of your users, logs of your operation management into the one secure bucket, so that you have the visibility into who is managing the infrastructure, who is accessing to your content and analyze that data to gain visibility into the unexpected threats that might come across your infrastructure's way. So that's the approach that we take in cloud security and compliance related things, because cloud security and compliance is non-negotiable, and once we have some sort of room for the attackers to get into your environments, it is 0 times that the attackers take to gain access to your complete system once they enter into the single endpoint into your environment. So that is why it makes a very relevant and important for all of us to take the security and compliance aspect into consideration on a utmost priority. That is what I'd like to say in from that security and compliance standpoint. Yeah, so we have covered the basics or maybe fundamentals of the cloud infrastructure, but when we talk about why we build the e-learning platforms, and what is the objective of building those e-learning platforms, is because is that we build these platforms considering the audiences that we are going to cater. So what matters the most is engaging to engage with those audiences or audiences or users that we have, or intended users for our applications, and to provide them the necessary or required flow for the users to access your content, which could be live and low latency content. Apart from that, it could be engaging, it could be intelligent, it could be smart, it could be adaptive, it could be whatever, but we'll have to consider and why we have built the applications and what is important for our users or for our audience to access that content. So let's say for one educational institution which they have built the e-learning platform for their users or for their students. So in that particular time situation or scenario or case, what is the most important feature thing to consider is it is going to be the adaptiveness. But yeah, it depends upon the goals of that particular institution. But if we talk about the adaptiveness, then we must have to consider that approach, or maybe the layer of intelligence to be built on top of the educational or e-learning applications that we have, and so that we can cover this objective of why we have built this application and what is required or what is our end users as expecting from our e-learning platform that we have built. So this is what makes our e-learning platform to be very relevant and to be very resonating with our broader level of users or maybe audiences for our platforms. Yeah, then again, from one more aspect, when we talk about the cloud infrastructure management and applications, those are the key components where we'll have to consider in the management of the infrastructure and environments that we have, because we know cost challenges are real and practical. We cannot write off the cost challenges that we have in our infrastructure and environments, because we have a certain amount of strategies where we can implement to achieve the cost optimization within the environment. And when we build the e-learning platforms on top of the AWS or maybe any other cloud platform, because we have some sort of identified gaps wherein cost can creep up in no time or maybe real time, and leave you into because how we can consuming all those infrastructure or maybe resources, and are responsible for paying all those costs to the AWS. So key or maybe a couple of challenges related to that could be under optimized infrastructure, or maybe over provisioned infrastructure, or maybe going with the on-demand instances, or not paying attention to the downtime causing by any of the reasons that we have associated with your environment. So all in compute, in storage, or maybe in content delivery, or in databases cost, it all makes sense to keep an eye on the compute resources and storage resources that we are utilizing, because a single component can save you 20 to 30% of the cost in the AWS infrastructure, while we're talking about the compute, while we're talking about the storage, or maybe it the content delivery, because we have various classes of the compute that we can consider to build or process the applications from the compute classes that we have. Let's say general purpose compute class, memory heavy compute classes, or maybe compute optimized, or maybe for generative AI or data analytics processings, we have AI powered or maybe GPU classes that made AWS available for considerations as a part of your AWS component, or maybe architecture components, basically in trainiums, in inferences, or maybe GPU based whatever compute processors that we have. So that are as a part of your optimization strategy for your workloads to be very efficient and very optimized to build and cater this e-learning content to your users. So that's all about cost management, and how the efficient cloud cost management looks like within your environment or within your systems. So yeah, again, we talked about the various components, and we've covered a lot of topics today. And one more key important aspect of today's session is going to be maximizing the value of your platform that you have built, from the infrastructure standpoint, from the application standpoint, and from the intended business value from the platforms that you have built, considering or maybe putting the audience or users at the center of your service delivery. So from both the layers, achieving the excellence within your operational processes, within your maybe staffs, increasing the productivity of your teams, the way they are managing the infrastructure, the way they are building the applications, and the way they are releasing the features, or maybe rolling out the new features within your applications. So all that could be managed within this AWS's automated infrastructure, flexible infrastructure, and scalable infrastructure architectures and components that we have to keep in mind while we suggest to build these kind of applications on top of the AWS platforms, be it reducing the and from talking about the business values from the infrastructure standpoint, it all comes down to again reducing your cost associated with the resources that you are utilizing, from different level of resources in compute, in storage, in databases, and in all other services that you're using. And apart from that, one key and important aspect that we consider is the operational framework of the AWS cloud. In what we have, scalability is at our highest priority for the today's discussions, because in educational institutions there are n number of users, or maybe that can gather to your websites or your application sources to access or to gain the visibility into your contents that you are providing to the audiences, and that could be on a concurrent basis. Let's say we just talked about a number of concurrent users to be able to access your content. Let's say the thousands of concurrent users, or maybe tens of thousands of concurrent users. So these are a few minimal business values that we keep in mind when we deliver the infrastructure, when we deliver the application, and the content to your users. Keeping the engagement, keeping the adaptiveness, at forefront for the users to access that content. Yeah, so we just talked about a couple of things, a couple of cases wherein we have helped educational institutions to build up the e-learning platforms. But I want to just talk about one more thing over here. In today's era, the e-learning platforms are not only associated with the educational institutions, because every other organizations has been adopting to this approach, and they are coming across a real need of providing the access of timely access to their staff, to their operations team, to their all the teams that are working on their processes, to be able to make up to the skills that are needed in present time, then upskill continuously on what is needed in the next few years, or maybe considering the future ready talent for your organizations. So considering that aspect, we will have to consider the architecture and components to be future ready, to be analytics driven, and to be able to provide you the holistic view or visibility into all the components that we have, like the infrastructure component, like the application component, like the user component, and the teams that are managing your all the stuff together. So you get broader level of visibility into the systems, into the end-to-end system that we have, and that we have built as a part of e-learning platforms. Even though we have security at the utmost priority for the today, because of the users and because of the traffic that we can form in concurrent users on the websites, or on the origin of the content of this particular systems. So yeah, that is of the utmost importance for us while we build the applications or e-learning systems on top of the AWS or any cloud for that matter in today's time. Yeah. So here we are going to talk about one more key important aspect in where we covered our flagship products that we have developed internally for covering the broader needs of your businesses, basically, to right from the delivering infrastructure to covering all the aspects related to infrastructure and all other things. But here I'm going to talk about one more flagship products that we developed into the Evalix, because we are in the wave of generative AI, and we've been using that generative AI's capabilities into our developed application in a very effective and very optimized way, because the product that we have developed is capable of enabling your businesses or your institutions to create and manage the assessments for your users or for your internal teams to be able to assess their present present level of maybe to complement your traditional assessments, or maybe to add the intelligent layer on top of your traditional assessments, basically. So what are the few capabilities of that Evalix.ai is? It makes you capable to build the smarter assessments. Apart from that, it makes it adapts with the users that are accessing to your to this platform. So that, let's say we have 60 students that are accessing to this platform, every each student has the different capabilities and different learning abilities. So we can with the use of this assessment particularly, we can provide different students with different level of difficulties, and through this particular assessment platform, to be able to make it more adaptive. And apart from that, we have intelligent evaluation of the assessment that we conduct for the students and for the users. And once the evaluation has been done, the analysis, or maybe skill gap analysis, or maybe learning gap analysis, we can analyze and manage it on a very effective way, using this features of this Evalix.ai, which is our one of the flagship products that we have developed. And to give a just overview about how the platform's interface looks like, it is just right in front of your in front of you, and you can see that how how the user friendly the interface is, interface that we have built for the users to access that application for your assessment needs basically. So what is one more important thing is that we can custom, or we can maybe tailor this application based on your educational institution or based on your organization's needs, to make it even more effective and impactful for your organizations to use that, and leverage that for the higher impact on the way you are presently conducting your assessments, and the way you are going to conduct the assessment within the next coming times basically. So it's just nothing but smart platform with added capabilities of generative AI to enable your institution to give the access to your users or students to face the assessments basically. That's the core of this product that we've built. Yeah. And yeah, so while we are building our e-learning platforms on the AWS cloud or any other cloud, which where we need the scalability, where we need the architectural components to be very optimized, and considering the parameters that we have in cloud. So in that particular aspect, you need a partner, and our expertise, our experience, and our competencies makes us a very relevant partner for you to consider for your needs of building the e-learning platforms, or maybe hosting the e-learning platforms that you have built on top of the AWS cloud. So we have a structured approach in that particular scenarios or maybe cases. What we do is we assess your applications, assess your objectives, and then we put together into a very systematic documentation. And then once we have evaluated all the flows, then we come together with the approach, and then we propose the solution for your needs basically, which is again considering the modern components of the infrastructure, or maybe the applications that are needed, or where we need it to be more secure, we need it to be more cost effective, and we need it to be more reliable for the users or for the teams to manage that infrastructure, and users to have the access of those particular maybe applications and applications data. So that is what makes cloud.in a very a trustworthy partner for your all the needs related to the cloud, related to the security, and related to the technological needs that your business might come across. Yeah. So yeah, as we talked about how we can support and how we can how we can provide cater to your business needs related to this, building the scalable systems and hosting those systems on top of the AWS infrastructure to make them secure and to make them very reliable for your audiences to cater. So we have our teams available for you, for to engage with you, to provide guidance related to those systems with your teams. So just feel free to reach out to cloud.in team through the means that we have. We've been connected on LinkedIn, we've been connected on YouTube, you have been on our portal available on the Google, which in cloud.in. So also we will be taking some time in next couple of moments to have some sort of interaction with you guys who have participated in the today's session, and to address to their questions or maybe the information that they might need. And if any needs that they might have in line with the building systems, or maybe any other need related to the application hosting, or related to the overall cloud consulting. So yeah, I'll take a pause over here for next few minutes, and I'll be happy to take it a few questions or discussions from the from today's participants or attendees. Yeah, so please feel free to ask any questions, or any insights that you would like to share within the session.
If anyone has any questions, feel free to raise your hand and we will unmute you. I believe there are no more questions. So thank you for attending the session, and we would like to know your feedback on the session and what all you would like to cover us next time within the same topic. For that, please scan the QR code given on the screen. Thank you so much.